Hello everyone, Vickieverlie here, the Rock and Roll Prophetess. Today we're going to take a look at that first of the eclipses in the year of 2024, and this one's going to be in the sign of Libra. If you haven't seen my videos before, this is going to be a reading that is based in astrology, yes, but it is also very much an intuitive reading. I do get messages and downloads from my guides as we continue through, and often music too, many of you know. So be aware that I do color outside the lines, but it is an astrology-based reading, and I've been doing astrology for decades, since the 90s. So, but I like to expound on the traditional meanings and be in flow with spirit and my guides while I'm doing the reading. Real quick note, the only way to reach me is through my website at vickieverlie.com. Do not be fooled by imposters. I will never be messaging you through any social media platform about readings. You only can go through my website. I want to real quick to make a shout out to everybody who gave me so much, good positive feedback on the last video. And the numbers are up slightly, and if you do enjoy this content, if you continue to get those like buttons, many of you liked and commented and said that you really do like these readings a lot, so I will continue to do them. But maybe if you can give it that thumbs up so more people could see it, because I do feel like there's more people that would enjoy it, because it is different than a lot of other readers, I think. So I wanted to make that quick note, and thanks for those, and for those of you that donated last month too. That was very generous, and it's appreciated. One last thing, this chart isn't exactly exact. That's another reason I'm a little late getting it up. Llewellyn even, or not Llewellyn, yeah, it's the Llewellyn calendar. It had the eclipse times wrong. I don't know if they're wrong. I wonder if they're doing the waxing and waning and the exact, but we were looking for that exact degree of 507. I was kind of in a rush. I got it down to 5, but they had it at 3 a.m. exactly. It's probably going to be even a few more minutes when it's exact astrologically. I was getting all these conflicting times when I went to go look it up. But this chart will still just illustrate when the moon and the sun are both at the 5 degrees and making that opposition. The minutes are off by a tiny bit, but this is going to be as close as we're going to get it for this reading. And it's suitable. It's close enough for this reading. It'll be suitable for this reading, okay? Well, I feel like I've looked at this chart many times, because dozens of times, because I almost have, because I've been doing those Ingress readings, and it is almost the same chart as the Ingress reading, pretty much. I mean, the Mars is different, the Mars has changed signs, and but most everything on the moon would be different, but most everything else, this is pretty much the Ingress chart, other than the eclipse, happening. And like the Ingress chart and the eclipses, these charts, or these time frames, or these moments in time, are impactful beyond the normal range of things. We look at these new moon and full moons, and it's for, a month or half a month or so, is the range of influence. But in the case of the eclipses and the Aries Ingress, both, these are imprints where the whole wheel, everything that's captured in this astrological snapshot or this astrological imprint, is also part of the energetic frequency for much more, in this case, than the upcoming month. This could be for the next 6 months or even the next year, as is the Aries Ingress. It's for the next season or the next years. But the charts are almost identical, so I know this chart. I know this chart very well because I've been doing all those Aries Ingress readings. And real quickly, if you still want to get that Aries Ingress reading, it'll be available only till the end of this month of March. And in this year, because it does fall so close to the eclipses, I do cover both of the eclipses, the March 25th and the April 8th, as it relates to your chart and any other transits as well. Okay, but let's dive in. I feel like I can't really give my usual fresh approach to this reading because I know this chart so well almost, But okay, so it's the eclipse. Let's just look at the eclipse itself. It's in Libra, and it's not conjunct the South Node, but it is, it is connected to the South Node because they're both in the sign of Libra, and that's actually what determines what an eclipse is anyway. But there's a 10-degree arc. But the point is, we've got this Libra energy. Let's focus first on a little bit of this Libra energy and what that could signify, and how it would signify with the South Node. Because the South Node is all about the past. It's your past in your current incarnation, but it's also past lives and karma and stuff like that. And then we bring in the fact that it's a full moon eclipse or lunar eclipse. So the full moon or the lunar eclipse brings things to culmination. Okay, it shines a light. It's the ending of a cycle, perhaps a cycle that started back in the fall of last year of 2023, or perhaps a cycle that even started back in the year 2005 and 2006, when was the last time that we had these eclipse cycles. So it's, it's pretty big stuff here. And, the south node, we want to release it. As we come into there's a waxing moon and then the waning moon. We have the new moon and then it's waxing. This is a time of bringing in, manifesting, and then the full moon, and then it's waning and releasing and purging. So this is a big time to drop that baggage, clear that field, clear this past karmic stuff for sure. First of all, maybe be aware of it. Some things will come into your awareness. And because of some of the aspects, which we're going to dive into a little deeper in a minute, it could be a little bit harsh or in your face. Well, eclipses can behave in that manner too. Sometimes people will say, oh, well, it's Libra, it'll be all nicey. Not necessarily. Look, we've got Aries over here, we've got Taurus. There's other things that are not so eager to please, more kind of in your face energy. And the eclipse itself, again, can be sort of in your face energy. But things are going to bubble up, and the universe is going to be showing us. What do we have to release? Ask. Ask and you shall receive, the guides just said. What do we need to release at this time? And boy, will that universe, it will show you. And of course, depending on your natal wheel, where it falls, this is just the flat wheel, I call it, or some people, there's a lot of names for it. I always called it the flat wheel, or whole sign houses. But we look at in as far as your chart and what house it might fall in. Then that even tells even more, and then the planets that it's aspecting. So even if you don't order the reading from me, it's worth looking into all that stuff within your own chart to the best of your capabilities, So what do we want to release? Ask the universe, what are we releasing? What needs to be released so that I can achieve my highest goals and ambitions and my soul path that I have set out to accomplish or traverse in this human incarnation. So it's heavy, it's big stuff, it's big, heavy stuff here. And then we can set about the task of doing so. Once we realize what it is, because sometimes, and the seventh house, one of the things that doesn't come up, and I don't even use it that much at this meaning, for this meaning, but Libra in the flat chart, like we're looking at here, Libra's Venus, and it rules the seventh house, okay? So, it's like, seventh house is your friends, your one-on-one relationships, your marriage house, all this stuff, but it's also open enemies. And that is the thing that I'm really getting kind of a strong vibe on overall, just looking at it like this. That's not necessarily anything that's come up in any of the Ingress readings I've done so far, but it's a thing for the overall theme, I think, for the collective here. So, who is the person or the situation that is always holding you back? Where are you carrying around? It almost looks like this is like a sack. Like a big sack of potatoes or rocks or something. What big sack of whatever garbage are you carrying around with you? And this is also the Northern Hemisphere. It's a spring, good time to do a spring clean. Like literal what kind of junk are you hanging on to in your house, in your field, in your space. Let's clear this stuff out of here. Clearing, that's the word I need to write that down in big letters. Clearing. I've been saying purging, but I need to say clearing and cleansing. Because I don't want to say releasing anymore, because that's really counteractive if you do the etymology. You're releasing. So if you're in an apartment and you're going to release it, it's like you're signing up for another year of staying in the same spot. And when when we say the word release, that's not really what we're trying to do, So I've been trying to go with clearing and cleansing, but clearing is the word that I want to start making a mental note to substitute releasing with clearing. So, or purging is another one, but this is major for this time. What's the heavy weight that you're carrying around? What is other people's stuff that you're carrying around that isn't even your problem to begin with, And that could be, some of us, maybe we're helping people out all the time. I mean, if you have kids and stuff, you're going to do it, right? Of course. But, or with relatives or friends or whatever. And it doesn't mean like, I'm going to be selfish, I'm not going to help anybody out anymore. But you've got to replenish yourself here. You've got to release these burdens. Also, carrying around, because the negative side of some of this air sign energy, because it's also trining with the Pluto. The Aries ingress is also trining with that Pluto. So, and we're moving into this very air sign energy. And the air sign brings up, I mean, there's great positive things, but one of the downsides can be this gossipy stuff. Always being in everybody else's business. And with social media, it's more than ever, right? Why are you looking at them and saying, well, they should do this or they should do that? Don't worry about what they should do. It's none of your business what they should do. Worry about your own stuff. You know, focus on you and your own stuff, because, of course, the other side of it is where the sun is the Aries energy. And the sun's not, and it's the same with the ingress time. The sun's not really in the conjunction, but we do have a pretty tight conjunction. It's real tight at that Aries ingress, which is only a few days before. That's why the chart hasn't changed much. But we've got the North Node, Chiron, and Mercury. So the North Node wants us to go in the right path. What are we clearing and cleansing and release? I said it, purging. It's an I got to get that out of my automatic vocabulary. Well, that's something that I could do, right? That's going to be one of my Libra ingresses. Stop saying, but it could be also just stop saying certain words, or watch your words. Watch what you say. Words with all this air sign energy, and then Mercury being tightly involved in this thing. Words are going to have power. Words always have power, of course, but even more so, I feel, at this time, all right? We want to use our words in the positive sense of the Aries energy to feel empowered, to make those new beginnings, to charge forward, to go in a direction, to thine own self be true. All of this is Aries. And Aries is, Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Aries has a lot of energy to get up and go, and a lot of drive and ambition, and it's a starter and a go-getter. So what do we need to cleanse, clear, purge, remove, dissolve? Dissolve is a good word too in this instance, because we got a lot of Pisces here. That's going to help with the dissolution, the dissolving. What do we want to dissolve so that we can? What is this heavy sack or burden that we've been carrying around? Maybe we're not even realizing it. Maybe it's just, you know, we get up every day, throw that heavy sack on our back, and off we go. Or we get up every day and we look at social media and we go, well, they shouldn't be doing that, and they should. I disagree. And, you know, who cares? Keep on scrolling. Don't be trolling. Keep on scrolling. I made a meme of that years ago. I have to dig that out. It's got this little monster in it. It's got an ugly face and then a happy face. Don't be trolling. Keep on scrolling. You know, because a lot of our lives is tied into social media and stuff now. I mean, there's people that I probably talk to a lot on social media or interact with maybe, and I haven't actually seen them since at least before the pandemic, you know, so that's going on 5 years already. You know, I might have not seen them in 5 years. So a lot of our interaction is, you know, in that way, you know, with the Aquarius energy that, you know, online or internet or technology, based in technology rather than the face-to-face. Aries is also, and not Jupiter, but Taurus, you know, very physical. So this is a time, too, to maybe, you know, connect, reach out to the people that do inspire you, that you do want to hang out with, that aren't dragging you down, and say, hey, let's meet up, let's get together. Let's make a definite plan to get together. This is a time to make a definite plan for your life. Maybe not to initiate it so much, but more like, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is the things that I need to, and it might just even be like your to-do list, because sometimes with the Libra energy, it can be that way as well. It can be very much, Libras have a hard time saying no, and they're, okay, oh, I'll come help you, oh, yeah. So that's setting that boundaries and stuff. But being really clear about these boundaries, and being really clear about what you can, and being really clear within yourself. Well, I can do this, but I don't think I can do that. You know, setting realistic goals too. Okay, so there's this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. It's in the mix on both charts. It's going to be, this one's going to be exact on 4/20. That's when I'm hoping to launch my Kickstarter for my deck. I'm working on this new deck, and I'm trying to pull it all together, and I'm going to do a Kickstarter. So I've been just, you know, burning the candle at both ends. That's another reason I might be a little late getting this up here. I had to rerun the chart. It was like that. It's like, oh, I just don't have time to rerun these charts right now. So we're going to have to put it off till I can rerun the chart. So I did. I mean, I'm not that late getting it up, but a few days late. But the Jupiter, Uranus, and Taurus, so for the general outlook for people, Taurus is your second house, it's your money, it's your foundations. Taurus is also very much a creative sign, Yeah, we think of a Taurus as the money and the property and the possessions and all this stuff. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, this is a great time to get out there and start getting in that dirt. If you're going to do a garden, start digging in that dirt. Or, even figuratively, maybe we're going to dig in some dirt here, and just say, okay, they're showing me like washing your hands of it. But this is big for a lot of people. It's big for everybody, but it could really work for your benefit. I mean, if it's making some hard aspects, sometimes, if something's making a hard aspect, meaning a square, and to a lesser degree an opposition, but the squares in particular, sometimes that can be a push. That can come up as a push. Or Uranus, it could just be gone. If you've been saying, yeah, I want to get out of this job, I hate it, it sucks so bad, well, guess what? Bam, it's gone. Whatever it is, whatever the big change, the big Uranian shift or the big Uranian change, you have to know, you got to trust and say, okay, I know Jupiter's in here, I know this is a blessing for my highest good. I'm not going to go down that path of worrying or even like, blah, blah, blah. Keep talking about it. Because when you talk about it too much, it can give it an energy, but also it can like it just takes away the power sometimes. Sometimes you just got to sit in your power and not let your energy be dissipated and, chatted away in the breeze and just, scattered. It can be scattering. Uranian energy can be scattering in a negative way expression as well. It's also making a direct trine with Lilith here. So Lilith is another one. She knows exactly who she is, what she wants. She's not taking any bunk from anybody. She's ready to, she's an independent. Lilith and Aries have a lot in common. They're very much both independent. They're not going to be told what to do. They know who they are and what they want to do, and they're going to do it. They're not going to be put in their place or whatever. They're strong, very strong in their essence. That's what the guys want to say here. Okay, so then the other thing, another big thing. Well, this is also a loose sextile to the Neptune, but we've got this Venus-Saturn conjunction. This is super powerful as well. I mean, this is manifesting Venus. Venus being the ruler of Taurus. So tie-in where the Jupiter-Uranus is happening, and Venus being the ruler of the eclipse, because Venus rules over, if you look here, Venus rules over Taurus, but Venus also rules over Libra. See that? Libra and Taurus. So we've got the eclipse itself is in Taurus, so Venus is the ruler of the eclipse, and Venus is the ruler of Taurus, where the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is happening. So there's a lot of stuff here. But this is joined with Saturn in the sign of Pisces. So, typically Pisces is more fluid. It's more, it's not really, it's very different. It's harmonious. It's very harmonious with the Taurus energy, the earth, water feeds earth, the harmonious elements and everything. But it's not solid, okay? It's not, it's more in the collective unconscious. It's more in the in your dream state, behind the scenes. It's very much tied to things from the past. We bring in the Saturn, and it's the old things from the past. But the two of these together can give form to your visualizations, dreams, ideas. It's awesome for creatives. This is going to be some awesome stuff for some creative people, because we're always tuned in. We always, creative people, you're getting, or anybody. It doesn't have to be the arts. I just relate to that because that's kind of my jam. But it's whatever. Maybe it's a creative idea about a problem at work. Maybe it's a creative idea about your family and your home life or your partners. It's something that's been kind of swimming around, just out of reach. The Neptune Pisces energy is just out of reach. It's just not quite really here. You gotta do a little aura expanding or consciousness expanding to butt up to it. If you're very much nose to the grindstone, you've got your mind and you've got your head in the game, as they say, all this stuff floating around like the clouds are just gonna float on by. Walk on by, boom, 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 boom. That's an old song from the 60s. So they will walk on by. So you've got to, in order to connect with it, you've got to open up a little more, and then there can be intermingling. There can be some intermingling. And through the intermingling of the material and the physical and the spiritual and the unconscious, that's where the magic happens. That's where the magical manifestation happens. This could just even be your dreams. What's your Venus thing? What is your happy place? What is your Venus dream? Your Pisces dream of Venus, the things that make you happy, that would be fulfilling for you, that you feel, that's the ultimate, for you. It's going to be different for everybody. So yeah, and that Venus right at this moment is making it pretty much almost an exact sextile at 16 and 15 degrees to the Jupiter. So this is the time, make that list, check it twice, do this, getting ready. Getting ready for the next eclipse on the April 8th. That's when we're going to start taking the action and really punching forward with this. But there's a lot of the prep work, the groundwork that can be laid. A lot of the doing the research too. That's the 12th house. I'm in the throes of that right now with this Kickstarter. I'm getting estimates from these different printing companies, and I'm looking into all the different cool prizes I want to offer, and I'm planning. I'm in a planning phase, and the cool thing is, one of the things, because I'm asking the guides before I go to bed at night, I'm like, show me, because I'm like, I feel kind of overwhelmed. I mean, I've got the Hamza's all done. It's going to be a 50 card deck. But then there's more. You've got to do the background image. You got to do the other side of it. And I've been having some really cool magic stuff happen, because I'm just like, I could run roughs till I'm, my eyes are blurry, which they have. I've been too much screen time with my eyes. But, I could do thumbnails and roughs forever. And I've been having this shortcut by just going straight to my guides and saying, show me what it's supposed to look like. I've been doing that. I mean, not as far as the main images on the deck, but the extra stuff, the back of the deck. This, what are some cool prizes? And I'm getting flashes and downloads. The whole back of the deck was shown to me. It's going to be. I don't want to spoil it because it's going to be really cool. I can't wait to show you. I can't wait to share it with you guys, but I don't want to share anything yet. I'll be talking more about that next month. But I mean, they pretty much are just showing me, and it's like, oh, cool. Or so I could be with my nose to the grindstone, doing pages and pages of rough, drawing it this way, drawing it. Or I could just ask my guys to show me, and they are. And that's saving me hours. Or not to mention even hand cramps. I can't even play my dang keyboards. My hands are so cramped from always being in this. My hand too. Save some wear and tear in my hand and my eyes too. So yeah, that's been working out really cool for me. So it could be like that too. And then that full moon eclipse, it could really give you that illumination like I'm getting, And what I've been doing too is I've been, right before I go to sleep at night, I've been doing it. And that's always a good time, because it's the tween time. It's the magic time. It's the time between sleep and wake, consciousness and unconscious. It's a good time to do a lot of different things. Manifestation, for sure. Planting those seeds in your subconscious mind as you're drifting off to sleep. You don't want to drift off to sleep with your worries, with carrying that big sack of worries there, and reviewing, let's pull one of these problems out of here and think about it before I go to sleep. No, let's not do that. Let's not. Okay, let's dream our future. Doing a vision board. There's another really cool thing that could be a positive thing that could manifest at this time. Because you're wanting to dreams and visions, and then you're wanting to manifest it down in the reality. But this could be like never before. You could be sitting there saying, "Yeah, I've done these vision boards before. I tried all this stuff before, and yeah, it never worked out for me." But you didn't have the magic of the Jupiter Uranus. I'm hearing, what's that song? Let you feel the power, music in me. I'm young, I'm wild, and I'm free. Can't you feel the magic of the music in me? Dun, dun, dun. I can't think of the name of that song. It might be Triumph. Is that Triumph? It's some old tune from the 70s or 80s. Yeah, but can't you feel the power of the magic in me, or the music in me? Music too. I mean, when I said music in me, I'm getting chills. See, I got to stop doing this and do more of this. do more music. I've been singing a lot. I've been really singing. And, you know, singing is just, you don't have to be a great singer, but singing is just such a good thing. Just like, it's a form of breath work. It really is. And it raises your vibration. It raises your vibration for sure. And it's breath work. You know, you got to get that breathing under control in order to really, like, sing out, you know, not hum, but like pull it from the gut, from that diaphragm. You know, you got to, that works that diaphragm. It's almost like Kundalini, you know, breath. Not exactly, but there's an element of that. I found that this singing is really helping me, and it's helping me to, it just helps me, okay? And it helps. Music is magic. You know, the birds, there was that meme going around, and the birds, because we've been having this early spring here, really no winter, we were talking about that, but in the northern hemisphere, but the birds are singing every morning. There's this great meme about it. The birds know, because they're in tune with nature, that they start the day by singing their happy tune, singing it out, so that they call good things to them or something. If anybody knows the exact phrase along with that, it's a great one. Yeah, so doing that, or just even if you don't want to sing, speaking it out, you know. Writing is cool too. Definitely writing is good. But speaking it out, you know. There's power in the resonance of sound. There absolutely is, okay? In both ways, in all ways. You know, sound is in all sorts of things, you know. In movies, it sets the tone, in movies and TV shows. You know, and even, you know, other sounds that aren't pleasant, you know, unfortunately I have to deal with a lot of that a lot of the time, and, you know, I just try to not let it in, and I think a lot of people that are doing these types of things, that these sounds that are lowering the vibration and are just really almost ominous, trying to, you know, if those sounds were in a movie, you would know that it's something menacing, you know. I'm not going to go into particulars, but if you know, you know. And let's just say bass is, by definition, a very low frequency, okay? Let's just say that, and I'll leave it at that. But let's move on. So to counteract that, you know, this lighter, brighter, higher vibrational energy to connect with these higher dimensional things, and to not only in our own life, but the more of us that do that energetically, the more it lifts all ships rise in the high tide, or there's another one of those old parables, but so true. You know, with the Saturn energy, there could be a lot of these old parables that are holding really true and everywhere. So yeah, I mean, a lot going on, so powerful, especially this thing with the Pluto, transforming your life. If you want to change your life, this is the time to do it, you know. So there's a lot there. And again, I got till the end of the month. If you want to get in on the Aries Ingress reading, it's basically this chart, just a little different. We'll go into everything as it relates to your chart. We'll go into not only this eclipse where it hits, and then we'll also pop in on that April 8th eclipse as it relates to your chart with your astrological wheel, not the zero Aries chart thing. It'll be your wheel in the middle, okay? So if you're interested, and many of you have been ordering, and thanks to everybody for ordering your reading. I've been busy. That's another thing. I've just been busy trying to, you know, do all everybody's readings, but that's okay. I'm not complaining at all. But yeah, super powerful. And again, I'll roll with this a little longer. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Again, a lot of people said they really like these readings. You know what there is, and this is just so, I mean, who does this? But I started watching a little more closely. I put them up and go do my thing, and I'll check in here and there and see if any comments and give it a heart. I don't really watch my videos, you know, or even the stats or anything that closely. But since there's been such a decline, I have been watching. And what's been happening, what people are doing, somebody's doing, there's at least a few people that do this. Because the video comes out, I was watching, and the video came out, and it's not even, like, say this is a half-hour video. It's like 5 minutes later, and they've already given it a thumbs down. So there's people out there, there's a few people, I mean, not a lot, but there's a few people out there who are actively, must be subscribing and getting notifications, right? They're subscribing, and they're getting a notification, just so they can come in and give that thumbs down. And those first minutes on the YouTube, the initial impacts the whole thing. So I don't know why people would do that. I mean, are they a competitor and they think that that's going to help them in some way? Or are they just somebody who's very anti-astrology and tarot and just wants to take them all down or something? I mean, I don't know. I don't really care what their motives are, but I mean, again, do you have something better to do with your life than come subscribe to somebody's video and wait for it to come out just so you can get in there and give that thumbs down? I mean, what is that? So I don't want to give that any more talk or power, but that's why I'm asking for all of you to counteract that, you know, especially if you do subscribe and get the notification, if you can jump in and give that thumbs up just to counteract these few people that are doing that, because it does make an impact in the algorithm. I mean, they're not watching the video. They're coming in just for that purpose. And I mean, why? That's just so... But again, I appreciate everybody who does give the thumbs up, and when you do give the thumbs up and that, then more people will see it. It won't get buried in the sea of readings that are out there these days, and more people that do like the more spiritual, psychic astrology reading, that isn't, you know, just right by the book and everything's, you know, by the book, then maybe they can find it. And just to counteract, you know, there's power in numbers, you know, there's power in numbers. So, and I appreciate the numbers and all of you that are, you know, watching now, and all of you that have been with me. I mean, it's been over 10 years. It's going 11 years. I hit my 11-year mark on this channel for doing the readings. I've been doing this for 11 years, and many of you have been with me from the beginning and been so supportive and always leaving the comments and, you know, the nice things. And I mean, you don't have to comment if you don't, but just if you could just give that thumbs up, I mean, I think that could make a world of difference, because I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was just like, yeah, whatever, maybe they're losing interest. But then I started just really watching. It's like, wow, look at that. The video's been up for 2 minutes and somebody's already given it a thumbs down and they haven't even watched the video. What? I mean, what? And, you know, so what? They're petty, who cares? But it makes a difference with the YouTube algorithm. That's why, that's the only reason I give it any, you know, lip service here. Because the YouTube algorithm says, oh, people don't like it, so we'll go on to the next one. So, thumbs up if you like it. That would help me out so much, and it's so appreciated. Don't forget about that Aries Ingress reading. It's a doozy this year. We've got all this, and we've got the 2 eclipses, so it's going to be only till the end of this month, and then we're going to take it down, because then it's just like full steam ahead on this deck and the Kickstarter. You know, I'm trying to do these Aries Ingresses and do the Kickstarter, and, you know, it's cool. It's working out. I'm not complaining, but I'm definitely, sometimes I'll extend it a little, but it's definitely going to be end of this month, and that's the end of it, okay? All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have a great lunar eclipse, full moon eclipse, and we'll be back again soon. Till then, bye.